Ever heard of Hieros Gamos? It's not what you think. Most people assume it's just about sacred marriage between two people, but that's only scratching the surface. Hieros Gamos is actually the cosmic dance of divine union happening right here in our universe. It's the sacred marriage between your human consciousness and your divine essence, the moment when heaven and earth unite within you. This isn't just ancient mysticism, it's the blueprint for spiritual transformation that's been hidden in plain sight. Ready to dive deeper into these mysteries? Join me for Grand Rising with ChristoLight this Tuesday, December 2nd at 9 a.m. Eastern Live. We'll explore how this divine union is calling you home to yourself.
Our founder claims. This right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum. Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight. Your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Grand day, grand rising. Welcome to this living moment of existence, and thank you for being alive, existing, being present during this beautiful journey on earth that we are on. May we remember that we are alive, that we are well, that we are functionable. We have opportunity to make change in this moment. We have the opportunity to become more enlightened. We have the opportunity to go through experience. And we have the opportunity to access grace and divine will. I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey as we are beautifully moving through this series. And I got to say, it's been very inspirational. It's life-changing and very paradigm shifting. The perspectives that have been obtained throughout these episodes have been very one of a kind, very unique, and very, very divine. So we have gone through so many episodes now in this series, around 50 episodes. We have ranged from talking about the whole entire 15-dimensional time matrix that we are a part of. We have broken down the different rays of light, as well as the different guardians of those rays. We have gone through what timelines are, what it means to have a light body. We've talked about the crystal Sophia. We've talked about ley lines and grid work. We've talked about so many different beautiful topics in this series. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a rewind to last Thursday, to our last episode of Grand Rising of ChristoLight. So we can do a little recap and pick up on left off in this series.
You have an avatar body operating in dimensions 10, 11, and 12 of the universal time matrix. Most people only know their physical carbon-based biology.
So the avatar. A Christos avatar is a term used to determine a 12-dimensional, simultaneously conscious being, the highest expression of consciousness of the original human divine blueprint. This is the state of being of a true Christ consciousness, 12 DNA strands or silicate matrix. So let's go ahead and check out what Christos means. The crystal star. In January of 13, our planet has come to the time of the promised return of Christ consciousness, and the externalization of the crystal star presence, the Maharata Christos tribal shield. The Emerald Founder records, or the CDT plates, contain massive volumes of holographic information covering every aspect about the cosmic sovereign law of one, the natural laws of the time matrix, personal consciousness, self-mastery, and the sacred, spiritual, universal Melchizedek teachings of the cosmic Christos citizen. Finally, after another lengthy surrogacy for rebuilding triple solar reishi diamond templates, we reached the time where a guardian host made us aware of the glorious arrival of the 11-dimensional Atlantean solar dragon queen, Marita, from the earliest pre-invasion history of the golden age of Atlantean timelines. It has been emphasized by Holy Father that the reclamation of her spiritual identity in the Albion is integral to the hierogamic sacred marriage and seating of King Arthur as the second coming.
And satanic ritual abuse practices of child sacrifice made by the satanic entities ruling this world, both human and non-human. To understand the Albion light body, we will need to know more about how the planetary grid network is arranged, and that its inherent design was always for reassembling lost Diamond Sun DNA by supporting the human tribe's root.
I love how it talks about cellular memory records awaken. So part of that is awakening all of your past timelines, all of your future selves, and bringing them into harmony and alignment with your current.
It's time you learned. The Avatar's state is a defense mechanism designed to empower you with the skills and knowledge of all the past avatars. The glow.
Ooh, the Avatar. So yeah, we know a little bit about what the Avatar truly means in our human reality. And then within that, we got to watch a little bit of clips from Avatar: The Last Airbender, as well as some other content as well. It was really cool. The correlation that took place between Avatar and that series, or the episode, was that in the Avatar series, it talks about how Avatar, Aang, which is the kid, Aang is on a journey where he's helping save the world. But as he is helping to save the world, he's also on a journey within himself of accessing the hero within. And this is the hero's journey. The hero within is overcoming all of the different limitations, all of the negative self-reflections, all of the things that keep you feeling like you cannot do something fully or to access and live in the purpose that you are here for. So what happens is that Aang, as a very polite, kind, and loving boy, he finds it difficult to be able to take out the Fire Lord. The Fire Lord is basically the most evil character on the earth, and he's trying to take over the whole world. And that comes with killing, stealing, taking over, things of that nature. So the Fire Lord is going around to these different islands and different civilizations, and they're all based off of the elements. And the Fire Lord's going and he's trying to dominate the earth villages, the water villages, so on and so forth. So Aang, the Avatar, his purpose on the earth is to help prevent that and help bring peace and unification to the world. So as the avatar, he doesn't just bend. And when we say bend, we mean work with or naturally use the energy of different elements. So there's some that are only fire benders. There's some that are water benders. There are some that are earth benders. And then for A, he masters all of the elements, which makes him the avatar or the Christ of the planet. So his journey, you get to learn him going through the teachings and the disciplines and the spiritual knowledge of how to obtain the mastery of all the elements so that he can activate his avatar state. And within his avatar state as well, he's also able to access all of his past lives. And all his past lives, he has to align with them so that he can feel the power and the activations of each past life in the current life so that he can access his Christ conscious state and fulfill his purpose of saving the earth. It is so good. Such a great series. I highly suggest it. Avatar: The Last Airbender. And if you guys like live action, they have made a live action version as well. Now, you're not going to be able to watch the whole series in live action because they've only made a few episodes. But yeah, check it out sometime. It is amazing. Incredible. Ah, man. How are we feeling today? Grand Rising to everyone. Grand Rising. If you guys stick around to the end, I'll play a little bit of the singing bowl and guide us through some breath work to help us balance our kundalini, our masculine and feminine, as we're going to be diving in on this episode to Hieros Gamos, Divine Union. We're going to be talking about the real details on a galactic level, on a cosmic level, of what Hieros Gamos, Divine Union is. And this is going to be multi-perspective. It's going to be an internal perspective, and it's also going to be a universal perspective as well. It's going to be very cool. So to kick us off, I'm actually going to let us watch a video, and then we'll step into ascensionglossary.com for our screen share reading. And then we'll watch some more videos, and we'll close out with a nice guided breathwork meditation. So feel free to hit that share button. Please like this comment and subscribe and help boost that algorithm so we can get more souls to come across these spaces. Thank you guys. So let's go ahead and dive in and watch our first video.
So let's dive into what Hieros Gamos is. For some of you, again, this might be a brand new concept. So let's go ahead and begin with the definitions of what it is. So these are the accepted, so to speak, definitions of what Hieros Gamos is. And then we're going to be talking about the more mystical aspects of Hieros Gamos. So typically, Hieros Gamos has been referring to this primordial union of the masculine and the feminine divine, or what we could call the Godhead. And it is a Greek term that has arisen that really looks at this unification of the Mother, Father, God. So we could call that Divine Mother, Divine Father. We could call that Sophia and the monad from a Gnostic perspective. We could call that Shiva and Shakti from a Hindu perspective. It also refers to those who we would call gods and goddesses coming into unification, such as Isis and Osiris. We know, well, at least I have a very strong sense that Isis and Osiris were very, very high beings, ascended masters, if you will, from another place that actually came into Egypt and taught and brought a very, very high level of awakening in that time. Also, Hieros Gamos means the coupling of the divine earthly representatives. So a prime example of this is Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and their union, and how their union brought about such powerful shifts and changes into the world, really offering, in my perspective, offering Yeshua what he needed to do what he was asked to do. Now, when we tap into the meaning of Hieros Gamos on a deeper mystical level, what that really is asking us to do, or what path that's showing us, is this inner union, this sacred union within. In essence, is the balancing and unification of all of our internal polarities, right? And so that's a lot. So just some examples of that are shadow and light, divine and human, masculine and feminine. And we're going to be going deeper into all of that as we talk about this today. So in this form of Hieros Gamos, in essence, all parts of us that might seem very different are coming together in unification. And it not only offers a huge boon to our healing, because it brings about this sacred alchemical transformation of our own internal density, right? This is a lot of what somatic awakening does, especially the practice. Again, we'll be talking about that in a moment. It also offers us this incredible awakening, because it helps us have the lived experience of our own unification, the understanding that we are not separate, the coming into alignment of our true essence. And in essence, the unification that happens within mirrors the unification that happens without. So as we come into a lived experience of wholeness inside of us, we also more fully live in an understanding experience of our unification with all things, right? So this is a path, as you can imagine, that unfolds over time. When I actually started looking back at this, my sense is that I've been walking this path for decades. I didn't even know the words Hieros Gamos when I first really started this path, but I knew that I was longing to come into union inside of myself and not look outside of myself so much in this kind of pining way or grasping way or whatever it is, like making other people the divine, and then I was worshiping them. I knew on whatever level that showed up, whether it be spirituality or relationships or other things, I knew that there was more to my deep connection with divine than this externalized experience. Because what Hieros Gamos, this internal mystical path, is doing is bringing it all here so that we can really drop in and come into a deep lived experience of who we truly are.
Well said. Such a great way to kick off our episode on Hieros Gamos. I love sharing, multiple resources for us so that we can get multiple perspectives, different angles, and pick up on any information that maybe one of us is not aware of. Then it adds into the pot of the knowledge that we have. So let's talk about Hieros Gamos in depth here on ascensionglossary.com. So Hieros Gamos is the wedded garment of God. When we say God, we're talking about creator, source, the all-permeating force, wearing the white robes of the One. Hieros Gamos refers to the risen Christo Sophia as the embodiment of the inner hierogamic union between the human being and the divine. Hieros Gamos is the full resurrection of the body to the eternal light of Christos. Cosmic Christ consciousness in the bodies return to energetic balance, neutral in the unity field or 0 point. The light body being is one with God or Creator, and the Christos body is glorified in its perfection as representative of God's eternal light image. In Hieros Gamos couplings, the genetic equal of the monad unites with its counterpart to embody the sacred marriage of Christic equals, to merge into one spiritual body, to hold the spirits of Christ. A Christic male and a Christic female unite in a Hieros Gamos, or rod and staff union, as the Christo Sophia, to be of service within God's eternal light divine plan, to correct the Sophianic body, and to restore liberation of ascension upon the earth. Hieros Gamos is the embodiment of the new cosmic ray frequencies of Mother Arc Aquamarine and Father Arc Emerald Green hues, and their DNA lens being introduced to this universe. These frequencies, or frequency colors, represent the Aurora body, guardian consciousness of the united Christic forms embodied in the future sovereignty timelines of God's sovereign free. All right. So, yeah, divine union. Divine union begins with the inner marriage of your masculine and feminine principles. And then that then reflects and attracts a outward spiritual marriage where you attract someone that is in that same embodiment of wholeness within their self. And then you bring that together to combine. And then your wholeness state creates a third wholeness state, which is called Godhead or Creator. Now, if we're not in wholeness states and we're not in healed states and we're attracting, then we attract from where we're at. And this is where we can attract codependent relationships, narcissistic relationships, but it is all divine. And it's based on the attunement of your vibration and frequency and what you need in order to give you experiences for balance. So if you're in a balanced state, then you're not going to need to attract narcissistic or codependent relationships. That's based off of vibration. It's not based off of thoughts, not based off of how you want things to be, but it's based off of the need of universal vibration. So let's go ahead and check out the Aurora body and what the Aurora body means. So the aurora, or opalescent white fields of beautiful tapestries of cellophane-like colored plasma, many of us are noticing them as an adjunct or override to our 12D shield, as they create an additional 4 main pillars around our aura. This is being referred to as the Aurora pillars or the Aurora body. The Aurora body protects the gold monad body and aligns the entire organism energy field to the system within the Aurora host Ascension Network. The Ascension or the Aurora Network is starting to generate massive fields of orbs that are visible near our aura body personal field. It seems apparent to understand they are now coming to us in orb bodies, as once we have anchored the Aurora crystal star pattern. We will learn to build our Merkaba structure to move in between dimensions. This is what an plasma orb body is. From our dimensional vantage point, it looks like an orb. However, it's an actual living entity or elemental. The Aurora body seems to be a step taking us to learn how to build our Merkaba pattern and become a traveling orb. This gave us our freedom back, as it clears the controllers are not able to circumvent this from happening. Holy smokes, this makes so much sense now. We have been seeing energy forms from the Aurora all over our world lately. People have been capturing these like extra dimensional, extra colorful, like undefinable colors of these orbs and shifting orbs in the sky all over the world lately. You guys can find these videos everywhere. these orbs look like they're like morphing, and they have these weird colors radiating from within them. So this makes a lot of sense right now. And then when you're building your Merkaba, you're learning about how to activate your crystal state, your light body. So it talks about the forces. So a part of the new elemental command, they are helping us with the re-encryption process to shift into the new God particles, or the trinitized form, or the tritone wave of unity and wholeness, which may appear to us like shapeshifter elements, such as wind sylphs. Wind sylphs is like elementals, like little elemental fairies. So it's like the air, the wind elementals. Wow, it's getting really cool. So then it's talking about the orbs. I'm sure a lot of us connect with the orb energy. And then it talks about the Aurora host matrix. It's the Aurora body located beyond the universal neuron net window and into the core of the next universe. The 7 higher heavens, or the high creational realm in Andromeda. They are the families of the crystal star and bring to the earth plane the Aurora elements, which are called the New Earth Elemental Command. Interesting. The New Earth Elemental Command. It is working to re-encrypt and correct and removing the distortions that were part of the original elemental form that compromises the planetary body and therefore our body. The New Earth Elemental Command are working to rehabilitate these new encryptions into the non-distorted patterns to recode the morphogenetic field of the core manifested body. Wow. Ooh, I'm starting to get all tingly. I don't know about you guys. So, gender principle and creation. In ascension context, the synthesizing of the pairs of energetic opposite into unity is also referred to as polarity integration. Energetic synthesis, or spiritual marriage. This also has the exact same meaning when applied together. Unification, which is the energetic balance between the masculine and feminine. To biologically evolve spiritually, the energetic balance between the masculine and feminine within the self must be unified. The apex of that perfect unification is the Hieros Gamos. The planet has reached that axis in time where the gender principle of creation in this world will be tested for energetic integrity on every level it exists. Essentially, this is a planetary body Merkaba shift between the counter-rotating spirals of the masculine and feminine energies. What this means is that everything having to do with masculine and feminine principles of energy on this planet are undergoing some kind of transformation at the blueprint level, which adjusts the gender principle. The new relationship paradigm. The term Hieros Gamos is used generally to refer to the sacred marriage between two divinities, or having a human being and mother, father, God, or between two human beings. The ultimate alchemy of forces, which harmonize polar opposites. I'm just going to clarify here. It says between two human beings. So, under certain special conditions. And it's also about the intention. Like, are you setting the intention to be in a divine union where you're both of service to the higher? You're both of service to the all. So spiritual marriage in no time. So the crystal star template, of which was previously referred to as spiritual marriage in no time, has returned to the Earth Logos in 2012 through the alchemical restoration of the Hieros Gamos. Connected through the Unity Logos, a guardian project to rebirth the planetary Logos. Hieros Gamos, or hierogamy, is the sacred marriage of a human being with divinity, the inner spirit, and the unification between all life expressions in its levels of opposite. From the guardian perspective, spiritual ascension comprises the science of the spirit, encompassing the entire creational mechanics of how spirit and matter travel throughout the time and space. At certain levels of frequency conjunction within the spiral of time, access is possible to new DNA templates and therefore embodiments. The planet has reached that axis in time. Hieros Gamos is the sacrament that represents sacred marriage at the individual level, to the relationship level, to the group level, as a part of the spiritual ascension. Moving through the spiraling staircase of time to experience unification with or marry all aspects of God. When we marry God through the sacrament, Christo Sophia returns in our sacred crystal heart. Spiritual marriage, mathematical pattern. The spiritual marriage mathematical pattern of 13 by 13, the female spin, and 12 by 12, the male spin, on top of all the exciting developments of God's consciousness technology, returning back to our planet through our Mother Ark herself. We are getting ready to understand the unity architecture in its Trinity wave pattern and its direct relationship to manifesting true spiritual marriage on the planet. As Mother bring back the crystal star frequency, the 7 sacred suns, it is bringing the template of sacred spiritual union between the rod and staff functions of our light body's Merkabic field. So let's check out Trinity Wave for those that might be intrigued by Trinity Wave. So here's a look at something here to give you a little bit of perspective of the kind of systems that you may be aligning your consciousness and programming to. So if you look at this, and this is trippy because in school growing up, literally they showed us in life these 2 circles, and they always showed us these 2 circles, that there is always 2 instead of the tri-wave, the Trinity. They've kept us in this base 10 system, as we call it, instead of base 12. When we're in a base 10 system, we're living off of the finite world. We're living off of the finite matrix instead of having the eternal awareness, the eternal attunement. And it's all mental. It's all mental planes that we are simulating ourselves to. So the things that we are telling ourselves that we are in the reality of, we are simulating more of that reality. It's free will. So be wise of what you're using your free will with. So it's really interesting to see these 2 circles. I mean, I think about NA and AA and so many different things. School, where they show us the bi-wave polarity, which is a closed looping system. And they basically try to tell us that we're in this closed looping system of bi-wave polarity, when in reality, our more organic, Christ-conscious system of life is based off of the tri-wave unity, not the bi-wave. The tri-wave unity represents Mother, Father, Christ consciousness. And that is what we are. We are not just the bi-wave. We are just experiencing a temporary bi-wave experience. But who we are the bi-wave and the Trinity wave together. And that's ascension. Ascension is ascending into the tri-wave rather than just the bi-wave. In the bi-wave, you're stuck in karmic loops. You're still being controlled. You're still seeking a separate quote unquote entity or power outside of you. But in the tri-wave, that separate entity or separate God force It's embedded within you, and you acknowledge that in your everyday life, and you don't need to seek it. Big difference. So take a reflection with yourself. Are you living more in a bi-wave mindset or state of being? Or are you living more in a tri-wave mindset and state of being? And really think about that, the system that you're living in. That comes to your medical, your job, your education, all these different things. Are you aligned right now with more of a bi-wave polarity or more of a tri-wave? Another thing too is a tri-wave. Tri-wave is when you embrace miracles. It's when you're open to the all-permeating force taking over your life in any moment, instead of thinking that everything is based off of ego perception. Wow, this is such a great episode. So, Trinity wave. The God source code is a Trinity wave, accessed through the merging of polarity, such as the merging of masculine and feminine energies. Our species has been suppressed through bi-wave influences that split apart the gender polarity, making it impossible to connect to God's source through the sacred union of the male and female. I'll say near impossible, because it's not impossible to reconnect, but when you're in that state of being and you're in the embodiment and the mentalism of polarity, it does become extremely difficult to access that unified state. So sacred union is our divine birthright, and this organic architecture is now being returned to our species during the ascension cycle as Hieros Gamos. This gender polarity pattern is changing now on our planet, and we are able to access a new Trinity wave or unity code through these male rod and female staff embodiment. Recording bi-wave to Trinity wave. Garden assignments include starseed couples have been a work in progress in the planetary field architecture since February of 2009 to sequentially dismantle the polarity bi-wave of the Vessus Pisces harness and the NRG program headquartered in the UK. The use of these structures on the planet is to collect, siphon, and transpose life force and sexual energy from human beings to promote enslavement and sexual misery. To override this extreme polarity distortion, these couples build a platform for the Trinity wave field, which allows true tantric union to occur. The revelation hidden inside these secret sacred unions are astounding, as they have so many different dimensions of purpose for the ascension process. How beautiful is that? To be a vessel, especially in divine union, to be a vessel to help transmit these codes, to help be able to reassemble souls into the tri-wave connection of allowing the higher spirit to be able to lead them in their life. That's so beautiful. So the Aurora Amplifier Talisman. Also, as an amplifier talisman for HGS, it is defined as the wedded garment robes of God. All right, so they have 3 levels of sacred marriage that they call it. The first level is building the wings. The second level is the crystal lotus heart. And then the third level is Hieros Gamos, Christo's hydroplasmic light. So basically what it's saying is you build your 6th and 7th dimensional self, which is tuning in to your light body. It's tuning into your connection beyond the ego. So you build that within yourself. Then you also build that within your relationship when you're a couple. And then level 2 is activating your crystal lotus heart. So that's activating your light body. Since you started to cleanse your light body, cleanse your traumas, do your shadow work, and transmute the things that are keeping us dense, it then takes us into phase 2 or level 2, where we are now vibrationally in the embodiment of having a clear auric field. And with that clear auric field, your light body, your Sophia, your crystal heart begins to emanate deeper and brighter. And then that begins to take over your relationship even more. And it brings you into level 3, where now you're starting to really embody, anchor, and live a life of eternal connection together and within in the Christo's hydroplasmic light. It takes a real level of letting go in the ego and letting go of personal feeling, personal thought, and allowing the higher to take over. And you can imagine it's not for everybody. It's not the easiest journey. It takes real accountability and real discipline. And on top of that, the ability to have fun and let go throughout it. So let's go ahead and read about stages of spiritual development and the 3 levels. And then we'll watch another video and continue on. So stages of spiritual development in 3 levels. There are distinct stages of spiritual body development in relationship to the energetic merging of these polarity of forces that directly impact gender centers. The integration of these forces is that which result in the integration between the masculine and feminine counterparts existing within each triad. Currently, the blueprint restoration of the Trinity architecture that is necessary to unite spiritual marriage at all 3 evolving levels is being supported in the planetary logos. This changes the nature of all gender-based relationships to be brought into energetic reconciliation. All of these spiritual marriage stages of development may be held by an extension, twin, or genetic equal incarnated or existing in another dimension. And this is the origin of what you can call twin flames. And we're going to keep it at that. That's what a twin flame is. So I'll read that for you guys. Let's not get into all the woo-woo, the attachments, the projection of codependency, things of that nature. This is what a twin flame is. So all of these spiritual marriage stages of development may be held by an extension, twin or genetic equal, incarnated or existing in another dimension. So more humans will attract relationships from these future timelines that are designed as levels of spiritual marriage to support the integration of gender polarities and end past timeline karmic patterns. With spiritual relationship awareness at certain stages, couples can travel through the spiritual marriage developments together consciously. Each gender may have a timeline or a stage that is the complement required for their gender opposite partners' polarity integration. Dope. Okay, so before we continue on with more of this reading, and I see it's going to break down in depth for us the 3 different triads or the 3 different levels of the sacred marriage, divine union. So before we break down those 3 levels in depth, we're going to go ahead and take a break and watch another video, and then we'll close out the rest of this reading from ascensionglossary.com. And don't forget, at the end, we are going to be doing a wonderful guided breath work to help balance our masculine and feminine bodies.
Called by the land, called by the dragon, Mother Earth, Father Sky, walking the rose line, taking the pilgrimage, following the path of Sophia, the seer, the sphere, the Sophia, Ein Sof Sephirot. Wisdom presented in ancient tongue and modern parlance alike. Call me Divine Mother, beloved Queen Sophia, for I know it is my way and my path to walk the worlds for you, so that you may return in your fullest form, your true form, allowing the sacred masculine to hold you up, to support you, to be your king. This is the Hieros Gamos alignment, called into fullness of remembrance at the end of the Mayan long count, 21st of December 2012. Brought into further awareness with the tumultuous timeline shift in 2016, and anchored through star-seeded critical mass knowing at the Lion's Gate of 2022, cycling into the first flowering of plasma frequency for Hieros Gamos coding at the Lion's Gate 2023. Now we know when we are called by the land, by the dragon, by the Great Mother, by Sophia, sphere of light, Ein Sof, by the geometric pinnacle for the inner structure formation, reformation. We know at this point we are called by the body. We are called by the self back to self, and we are called home. We can take the path of the sun, the pilgrimage, as we move our walking into the physical and literally do the walkabout. It is sacred. It is crystalline. Or we can take the path of the moon and go within. As we expand outwards into hyperspace, inner space, real space, within both as blended sun and moon. The daydream then appears to us, and we thus live the daydream. We live the dream itself. This is our Hieros Gamos, reflected within our experiential reality. For that which is without is that which is within. And when we know this, we have come home. We are Magenta Pixie and the white-winged collective consciousness of 9.
Wow. So Magenta Pixie is a great resource. You guys can check her out on YouTube as well as in other places as well. She is a great channeler. She helps you learn about different starseed lineages as well as galactic messages and things of that nature. Magenta Pixie. So coming up, we have Sacred Kingdom spaces that you guys can be a part of. We have coming up on Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be holding the final full moon of 2025 live space. This is going to be the moon in Gemini. And you guys can join us live from Eastern we're going to be deep diving into, what the full moon is, especially in this Gemini alignment, with it being the final full moon of 2025. So we're going to take our time to explore and deep dive into the meaning, as well as different ways you guys can connect with this full moon energy intentionally, whether it's through herbs, different types of teas, crystals, practices, journal prompts. We're going to have some really good stuff for you guys to connect with. And then, of course, I'll probably do a guided meditation. And then coming up on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be kicking off our first episode of the Organic Home Living Podcast, Whispers of Wellness. And some of us in the community, we are experts on holistic, organic home hygiene, home product, as well as holistic ways. So we're going to give you guys the wisdom and knowledge that we have bestowed throughout our journeys, as well as the type of things that we do when it comes to making our ingredients, making our products, and the things that we look for and have learned about. So it'll be a tremendous value. So I'm going to show you guys a couple little previews, get you guys a little intrigued, and show you guys what we're working with. So this one is going to be coming up on Saturday.
Your cleaning products are slowly poisoning your family. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. I'm here to expose what's really lurking in your everyday household products and how it's affecting everyone you love. Welcome to Whispers of Wellness, Organic Home Living, where we're pulling back the curtain on the chemical industry. Our team of homesteaders, herbalists, and shamanic practitioners are combining cutting-edge science with ancient wisdom to show you exactly how to protect your family. This isn't just another health podcast. We're going live so you can ask questions in real time, get hands-on demos, and join a movement that's cleaning up our earth one home at a time. Episode 1 drops this Saturday, December 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook. Don't let another day pass wondering what's really in your home.
Yep, that's going to be Saturday. I'm pretty excited for that one. That's going to be such a beautiful space and so relatable for everybody and very, very hands-on and tangible. We'll be doing live demos. We'll be letting you guys know ahead of time about the demos so you guys can do the demos with us. And we're going to be exploring so many different avenues and aspects of clean, organic home living and home care, as well as products and how to make them. It's going to be awesome. So tune in Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern for that first episode. So let's go ahead and continue into our reading about Hieros Gamos, Divine Union. And feel free to leave comments if you have comments so far. If you have anything to share about, this Divine Union energy, Hieros Gamos, any of your own personal experiences, so on and so forth. Play a little Egyptian music. All right. Continuing our reading from ascensionglossary.com. So we talked about 3 different stages or 3 different levels that you go through when it comes to divine union or sacred marriage. Again, this applies to within self as well as in a couple relationship. So level 1 of the sacred marriage is building the wings. So stage 1 of level 1 is alchemical union. So it's the 2nd to the 4th dimension astral relationship, the ancestral miasma, sexual amplification, karmic issues, past timeline memories, phantom matrices, false ascension matrix, black magician trauma, astral dark arts, negative forms or clones, Egyptian, or I should say ancient trauma, inner child trauma, telepathic, victim victimizer for healing, high risk dark manipulation and trickster, acts as the catalyzer for spiritual ascension and awakening. So that's stage 1, is facing those energies that are in your field. Then stage 2 is soulmate, 5th dimension, future earth timelines, Pleiadian influences, 5th dimensional ascension memories, Mayan calendar influence, shamanic studies, false umbilicus reset, soul extension, shared identity, resolving ego archetypes and identity, studying of archetypes and patterns, tarot, numerology, astrology, and all the alchemical union influencers. Then stage 3, the twin soul, 6th dimension, Syrian and indigo Blu-ray influence, Mary Magdalene and Yeshua influence, other planet or future memories, soul extension, shared identity, geometric shapes or crystal modalities, all of the alchemical union influencers. When level 1 triad is integrated, the whole triad, the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension merges to evolve the rod and staff union. Level 2 triad, sacred union or rod and staff union. So just like I was saying in the beginning, it starts with going into your lowest self. You're going into your traumas, your darkness, your trauma attachments, your things that are keeping you in karmic, dense energies. And as you face those and go through those, you then move into now beginning to anchor future Earth timeline potentials, as well as accessing more higher guidance and beginning to study and dive deeper into the esoterics of the universe. And then through the embodiment, the integration, the learning, you then move into being able to influence and to be able to spread the divine union energy. Level 2, the crystal lotus heart. So stage 1, karmic monad, the 7th dimension, Octarian influence, inner Christ crucifixion memories, monad extension, ascended masters, ET histories, the monad dark art training, Cathors, human family of origin genetic clearing, planet grid work, stargates, and planetary miasma. Stage 2, the reversal monad, 8-dimensional Orion and Lyran influence, Nephilim and Atlantean overlays, Lord Michael overlays, patriarchal king reversal, or matriarchal queen reversal, healing, to reverse the electrons, genetic hybrid healing, etheric surgery, NRGs, architecture dismantling, black heart re-encryption, Orion wars, solar cross, alien implants, galactic miasma, all of the previous influencers. So this is clearing out galactic overlays, clearing out galactic distortions and galactic poisoning of our genetics and our grid system. Then stage 3, the monadic twin, the 9th dimension, Andromedan influence, Aquarian influence, genetic equal, rod and staff, galactic stargates, previous influencers. When level 2 triad is integrated, the whole 7, 8, 9 dimension merges to evolve to Hieros Gamos. And you have level 3, Hieros Gamos. So this is going to be stage 1, solar egg, 10-dimensional monad twin or genetic equals, integrate solar illuminated light. Stage 2, the Buddhic egg, 11-dimensional monad, twin, or genetic equals integrate lunar reflected light. Then stage 3, the cosmic egg. Christ embodiment, 12-dimension monad twin, or genetic equal synthesizes the solar and lunar light, which when integrated embodies the cosmic Christos avatar of liquid aurora light. Together, the androgynous pair share one merged double diamond sun body and the one HG crown. What is a HG crown? The Hieros Gamos crown. Okay. It represents the unification of the masculine and feminine. This can occur both individually and in a sacred marriage relationship with another human. But in the process of embodying the Hieros Gamos, the masculine and feminine crowns merge to share one unified crown. This also acts as an override to the crown of thorns device. Awesome. So perfect balance equals hierogamic union. Men and women on this earth, you are both genders and influenced by these forces and archetypes through the law of gender. By seeking inner balance through the perfect union made between the masculine and feminine forces, the consciousness is made in the image of God through the hierogamic union of the inner Christo Sophia. This is represented in the spiritual alchemy of unified polarities, the hierogamic union of a god and goddess, a perfected being, the perfect balance and union between masculine and feminine principles, united as one, is our true destiny of spiritual freedom. Genetic equal. Guardian Host defines the usage of the term genetic equal as the original spiritual male and female gender pair that share one unified hierogamic consciousness body from outside of the time matrix, sourcing from the Christ Crystalla God worlds. The genetic equal partner holds the same original crystal gene gender coding of the Diamond Sun silicate matrix in the Christo Sophia family line. Genetic equals were birthed into one of the crystal star lineages from the God worlds and share the same realm of their source origin when they were simultaneously created for each other's in gender pairs. Christo's mission included the reclamation of gender pairs that had been separated as a result of damage to the genetic codes in the time matrix caused by the negative agenda, and usually one of the genders has a mission to repair their personal DNA imprint on the earth, and so to be reunited with their genetic equal again during the ascension cycle. We have learned that many solar dragon lines from the God world, such as the Kantarians, were originally created in gender pairs in which their unified male-female gender principles act as a timekeeper functions in the cosmic clock of the aeons. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Kantarians. The Dragon Kings. The mother arc of Covenant Stargate system was purposed for the transitioning of an assortment of stuck or damaged consciousness bodies through the aqua portals in order to begin the foundations for rebuilding the Ka-Ta-Ra Kantarian dragon ring portal system. Our universe has or was invaded when the 8-dimensional layers of the metagalactic core were attacked by black hole entities that are a fallen species that hybridized with advanced AI technology systems, many of whom joined together later on to form the negative agenda. Obviously, given Ezekiel's placement as a Christos solar rod principle in the universal architecture as an Amethyst Order Dragon King, along with his Gaian Kantarian spiritual family identity, he fell along with the rest of angelic humanity with his consciousness body parts stone across many dimensions. Ezekiel's individual identity had access to his Amethyst Order Holy Father Kantarian solar dragon body memories from Gaia. Ezekiel's Amethyst Order Father of Dragons Kantarian body became embedded in the earth as a result of the Electric Wars and the fall of the Gaia Matrix, in which the advanced AI beast machinery from the black hole systems that infected the 8-dimensional galactic core. Very interesting. Wow. This is going to be an interesting topic. Definitely didn't expect this. But hermaphrodite redefined. Through the perfect union of the universal mother and universal father, as an example of the gender principle with Adam and Eve in the waters of sex with chastity, the pillar of the Hermia is perfected and made into the image of God or source through the hierogamic union of the inner Christo Sophia, which is represented in perfect alchemy of unified polarities. As the magnum opus of cosmic consciousness, in this term hermaphrodite, we see Mercury or Hermes uniting with the goddess of love. Her name is Venus or Aphrodite. When Hermes and Aphrodite unite, they form hermaphrodite, the perfect balance between unified male and female principle, or the aeonic pair, Sophia and Christos. A hermaphrodite really, truly has nothing to do with what people currently think that it is. Satanic forces have defiled its meaning through the imposter spirit of Baphomet. The deeper mystical understanding of hermaphrodite is the etymology of the word, comes from the union between Mercury and Venus, and is the hierogamic union of a god and goddess, a perfected and whole being, the perfect balance in the union between masculine and feminine united as one. So basically, the satanic version of that is they took that and they externalized it. And then they externalized it into the physical male and female body parts, instead of showing and guiding people and beings that the union starts within your being, balancing your inner masculine and feminine energies. And that's how you become what they say is the spiritual hermaphrodite, because it's talking about your internal self, your spiritual soul self that is experiencing. It's not talking about disorienting your physical body or completely changing your chemistry and then having to go through all the effects of that. But it's talking about finding the inner balance, the inner union of your own masculine and feminine principles, and then being able to project that, embody that, and attract it in your outer world. I'll just leave it there. I'm not going to touch more on that. So our last part of the reading, the Crystalla, eternal light body. And I love this image right here. It's talking about and showing, it's showing how from the 12th dimensional sphere, which is our Christ avatar state, we then project our Christ avatar self into two different poles or two different streams. That stream is mother and father energy, masculine and feminine. And then it goes down throughout the dimensions and represents different aspects of the rest of our being. And this is just a duplication of creation. Creation starts as the whole, and then the whole then births its own self into two different poles, masculine and feminine. But the key is to remember that it's not just masculine and feminine, it's masculine, feminine, and source consciousness. And that's the Trinity wave instead of the bi wave. So then when we're in that balance with the 12th dimension or the Trinity wave, with source still being plugged in and acknowledged, then we have this continuous balanced stream flowing through our center, while we then also bring balance and unification to our polarity aspects so that they can have more harmonization in our everyday experiences, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And then this projects into our collective consciousness. It's really cool. So they even talk about chakras. These are different meridian points that you can see in this grid that's kind of overlapped. The earth stars all the way down here, soul stars up here, and then there's chakras on our hips, shoulders. These are all energy center points that they're showing. You guys can look up chakra grid points, grids, and look at pictures of it all the time. So the ChristoLight, eternal light body. So in this activation for higher embodiment, the resonant points for the main energy centers in the physical body have shifted higher, slightly changing their position and adding more light body architecture to the skull, head, and crown. With the diamond sun body activation for the eternal light body in 5D, all separated electromagnetic fields in the light body release their polarization membranes and electromagnetic barriers, merging the male and female counter rotation spirals in a large orb of light surrounding the body. There are 3 main orb bodies nested within each other that are built on a trinity of triangles that align in the center vertical channel as a new position for the 3 Sephir, 6th Sephir, and the 9th Sephir, and then the personal Christ at the 12th Sephir, 3, 6, 9, 12. These main energy Sephirs are located on the central column and are merged into a tri-wave neutral charge, or non-polarized energy centers. Each of the 3, 6, 9, 12 positions connect to a trinity in one built for the conscious identity, soul triad, oversoul triad, and the personal Christ, respectively. Also, the light body is no longer connected to the earth core in the same way and hovers upon the base shield built underneath the feet. The base shield connects into the feedback loop of the 360 degrees of the 0-point field or Godhead that runs from within the internal diamond pillar. This current runs from the top of the crown to under the feet, returning back to the 0-point feedback loop made through the 12th Sephir, personal Christ consciousness. The 12-12 electrical Christ male patterns run through the 0-point into a feedback loop between the top position of the 12th Sephir from the Polydorian cell, down through the central vertical channel into the base shield under the feet. On either side of the capstone of the personal Christ is the cosmic mother aquamarine ray on the left, the cosmic father emerald ray on the right, uniting a trinity of triangles that surrounds the body with a shower of oceanic waves of aquamarine and emerald rays. Many loving ways of celebration for our ChristoLight families for achieving their new embodiment configuration during the Polydorian activation for the diamond sun body in the second harmonic universe. The light body configuration is ongoing. It allows more of the human earth family to reclaim their personal Christ, to build the eternal diamond sun orb body, and to continue to have this choice available to them in the future. And that choice is ascension. That choice is activating Christ consciousness. Wow. So it even talks about here our giving and receiving. It talks about how we've learned, if you're a Reiki practitioner or just a studier of the human body, it talks about here in the left side, we learned that we receive. And it says here that the cosmic mother aquamarine ray is on the left. Receiving is our feminine, our mother. Then talks about the cosmic father emerald ray is on the right. And our right side is our natural giving or putting out of energy, which is our masculine or father energy. So that's really cool how they show that to us. And they even show it in this diagram here. So I've been enjoying cacao over here. I don't know about you, I like to drink in the risings, but typically for me, it's if you're in the comments, let me know if you're a cacao drinker. If you love that sacred medicine, that cacao. Got some cacao right here. My golden spoon. Cacao is such a beautiful, beautiful medicine. How's everybody liking the snow? That has snow right now. You guys disliking it? You guys embracing it? Are you feeling the holiday spirit? I don't know, snow sometimes brings like a mysticism to me. It's like a very mystical energy of white. I don't mind the snow. For me, it's just when it gets icy on the roads and it gets like bitter, bitter windy. When it's icy and windy, that's when I'm ready to get up out of here. But just a little bit of snow and there's still sunlight. I'm cool with that. I can adapt. So for anybody that has any questions, any comments, anything that they would like to add about divine union, Hieros Gamos, getting stuff done inside, then gonna go play in the snow. I love that. Yeah, have fun with that. Especially if you guys have kiddos, you know, get out there and play with them. Bring back that childhood memory. And if you don't have kids, go outside with your inner child and still bring back those memories. All right. Technology's being just a tad bit slow. Come on. You got it. I'm actually gonna All right, we're here. Technology is being technology. Golly. All right, so we're gonna watch our final video. This is gonna be like a recap and kind of just bring it all together from all the information and knowledge that we've acquired in this episode, and just polish us off and give us a nice recap and exclamation of Hieros Gamos, the sacred union.
Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. Welcome, Lumina's Lightworkers, to the final flame in our sacred and magic journey. You have walked the corridors of the cosmos, learned the hidden rhythms of spirit, mind, and matter, seen the dance of opposites, the weaving of cause and effect. Now, at the pinnacle, we step into the eternal dance of gender, the sacred union of masculine and feminine forces, the primal seed of all creation, the mystery that births words and souls alike. Gender here is not mere biology, it is a universal polarity, the internal interplay of two complementary forces, the masculine, the active, projective, initiating force, the spark of will, the breath of power, the lightning that strikes, the feminine, the receptive, nurturing, magnetic force, the womb of form, ocean of potential, the quiet ground beneath the storm. This cosmic polarity is the seedbed of creation, where energy takes shape and ideas become words. Imagine the cosmic dance floor where masculine and feminine energy swirl, not as opposites in conflict, but as partners in an eternal ballet. Without masculine fire, feminine water remains still. Without feminine depth, masculine fire burns out. This dance is present in every atom, every star, every breath you take. Within your own being, these forces coexist. The thinker and the feeler, the creator and the nurturer, the warrior and the sage. True mastery is not denial of one, but the sacred balance of both. Long ago, before the rise of nations and the naming of stars, there was a sacred city hidden in the center of the world. It was called Suharu, the city of mirrors, where no one could lie, because everything you wear, the city reflected. In this city lived a being named Elena, who was neither man nor woman, but both. A luminous soul split in two physical forms, Ellen masculine and Nora feminine. They were born on the same breath, raised apart, yet always drawn to one another by an unexplainable force. Ellen was a warrior of mind, logic, clarity, command. He studied stars and spoke the language of fire. Nora was a priestess of intuition, feeling, flow, and creation. She could move rivers with her song and cause seeds to blossom with silence. Yet, the city was dying. The once living crystal walls of Tuharu dimmed. The people, divided by outer differences, forgot the inner balance. Masculine and feminine were torn apart. Logic mocked feeling. Strength suppressed creation. One night, in the temple of reflection, Ellen and Nora stood face to face for the first time. In that sacred mirror, they didn't see their bodies. They saw a single soul, one light, two forces. The mirror whispered, "You were never separate." One speaks the language of thought, the other the language of becoming, but both are the breath of the divine. In that moment, Ellen lowered his sword. Nora raised her hand. Together, they stepped into the mirror and disappeared, not into death, but into union. The city awoke, the walls shone, the people wept. Masculine no longer feared feminine, and feminine no longer resisted masculine. Balance returned, creation resumed, Suharu lived again. And in the wind, one could hear a new name, not Ellen, not Nora, but Elena, the name of who remembered. Hermetic wisdom teaches that gender manifests on all planes, physical as male and female bodies, mental as logic and intuition, spiritual as active will and passive knowing. When these forces are in harmony, creation flows effortlessly. When out of balance, chaos ensues. The initiate learns to identify these energies within themselves, to cultivate both, and to honor the sacred interplay. You are a universe of dual forces. The cosmic dance is your birthright. To live the principle of gender is to walk the path of integration. Embrace your inner masculine, by cultivating clarity, focus, and action. Embrace your inner feminine by nurturing intuition, patience, and flow. Neither is superior, both are essential. When the masculine will builds, the feminine wisdom guides. When the feminine intuition flows, the masculine energy directs. Meditation, ritual, and contemplation help you balance these forces, allowing your soul to move in perfect harmony with the cosmos. Remember, Lightworker, true creation arises from union, not separation. You have now reached the seventh flame, the final aromatic circle revealed. The principle of gender is the internal creative dance within and without. Carry this sacred truth. I honor the masculine spark and the feminine depth within me. I am whole, I am balanced, I am creation itself. Thank you, dear light workers, for walking this mystical path with me. May these teachings illuminate your journey, and may you forever dance in the sacred harmony of the cosmos. If you have found light in this series, please like, subscribe, and share. The path of Hermetic wisdom is eternal, and so is your unfolding. Until we meet again, walk in light and be the cosmic dance.
A lovely video just to recap, close out, and put everything nicely together for us. So with that, feel free to get yourself comfortable. We're going to move into our closing meditation. I got the singing bowl for us. I'm going to be using the heart chakra, since it is the center of our physical seven. It is the center of our personal masculine and feminine. So for this, go ahead and get yourself comfortable. You guys can sit, lay down. If you have to be in motion, that's okay as well. Just mentally open yourself up to receiving the frequencies and just being in tune with these frequencies as they are emitted. Try not to focus on being able to hear it completely, or if you hear every bit of the frequency, just know that the frequency is there and it's able for you to be received. So as you get comfortable, have your back nice and straight if you can, so your spine could be supported. And then relax your fingers, your toes. Relax your jaw, making sure you're not clenching those teeth. Feel free to shake your body a little bit if you need to. Shake your hands. Relax those shoulders, shrug them. Move your hips, your waist. Rotate anything that you need that could feel a little stiff right now. And again, we're relaxing our shoulders, relaxing our feet, our toes, relaxing our fingers, relaxing our teeth and jaw. And we're getting ready to receive some heart chakra singing bowl frequencies. And we are setting the intention for these frequencies to help bring inner divine union to our masculine and feminine, within ourselves and into the collective. All right. Enjoy and receive. Focusing on the breath, breathing deeply in through our nose, drawing the breath down our body, and then exhaling out of the mouth. out any distortions in our masculine and feminine, clearing out the passageway for our Kundalini, clearing out the passageway for our mother and father arc, to channel down to our 12th dimensional gateway. Deep conscious breaths. Ue kina sinukudimi nakuto na ine sinukunuko na yanati me ikianati se monomushiki nata. Uneana site ukuna yanati dosi anaki nako nata imi anakute asukoti ana iana ute ne shoto ana. A little bit of Reiki for you guys as well. Many blessings to you on your journey. May your many spheres be cleared and balanced and harmonized. May we continue to maintain and hold the accountability for this balance within self and into the collective. Thank you all for sharing this cosmic journey with me. Thank you for being a part of Hieros Gamos and coming to this planet during this time. May we continue to elevate in truth, find our balance, and bestow unconditional love on our everyday lives. Thank you all. I love you. And see you guys again soon. Tomorrow rising, 9 a.m. Eastern, as we will continue on in this series. We're going to be talking about the root races, the races that seeded humanity on the planet. And we'll be talking about very, very ancient civilizations. So I'll see you guys then. You guys can tune in later today at 4 p.m. Eastern for the Soul Awakening with Sandra podcast, where she is talking about the merging of quantum awareness and conscious science. See you guys then.
Step into 2026 with intention and sacred purpose. Join ChristoLight Healing and Wellness for a transformative 3-day New Year's retreat at the historic Apple Butter Inn in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. From December 31st through January 2nd, immerse yourself in cacao ceremonies, healing gong baths, and conscious manifesting workshops led by renowned practitioners Sadhanam Singh, Jesse Thomas, Katrina Durant, and Empress Dawn Faya. Enjoy live music by Shy Brown and Evan Sturgeon while nourishing your body with plant-based meals and resting in luxury rooms with fireplaces and memory foam beds. This is your safe space to heal, connect with soul family, and consciously celebrate the new year.